today I want to talk about why Final Fantasy XIV is literally setting the standards on what gaming communities can be. Before I go into that, I want to give you a little context on why it's important to me and why hopefully it's important to you too. At the time of this video, I would have ran 365 days without missing a day, running outside for an entire year. I committed that during 2020 because of COVID. I was at the lowest point in my life. Well, not technically true. The lowest point I was in my life was back when I was 17 when I attempted suicide due to some serious bullying. But because of that and because of me coming through that, I've found ways to make sure that I'm taking care of my mental health. And mental health should be something that's really important for everybody because you gotta take time for yourself. And Final Fantasy does an amazing job in doing that. For one, they don't play around with reports when people are being mean, people are being malicious, people are being toxic. They tend to take care of that pretty quickly. And there's a big difference between being toxic and giving constructive feedback. Constructive feedback is giving somebody some advice, some tips, hoping that they can improve and get better from it. Where being toxic is literally you are saying things with the intent to hurt somebody's feelings. Completely different things. Don't get them confused. And because of how serious Final Fantasy takes reporting to make sure that people are being treated fair for a game that they're paying for, it really shows in the community. 90% of the people in the community are super helpful. New players feel so welcome when they come in. Veteran players feel absolutely awesome when they come in. Yes, just like every family, you got one or two bad apples, maybe three, depending on what kind of family you have, that are mixed in between, but that's far in between. You know, majority, 95% of my fun and playing Final Fantasy, I have not ran into any issues. And that's awesome. And I believe that really shows when new players are coming. And from the comments I've been reading from y'all videos about how y'all enjoy the Final Fantasy community, how helpful everybody is. And, you know, even me and how I'm, you know, building the channel and all this stuff to help you out and make sure that you're well on your way to understand how the game goes. And also to be your friend, because that's what I'm here for. I want to be your homie. But beside all that, the game is even created to make sure that your mental health is in good condition. You don't feel like you're getting left behind. You don't feel like you have to grind for 70, 80 hours. You don't feel like you're gonna miss out on anything if you don't spend 120 hours in one area. The game is literally designed to give you multiple ways to enjoy it. If you like the story, enjoy the story and enjoy the process. If you don't like the story, here's a time skip, here's a story skip. Get to where you want to go and have a good time. If you're big into in-game, raiding may be your thing and you want to get the best gear possible, you can do that from raiding. Or if you don't want to go through the stress of going through raiding, you can augment your weapons and augment your armor by just doing, you know, the more casual raids and taking them up to 530 that way. The game is built for you to enjoy yourself, and it's showing that even more with Endwalker drops because of the whole sanctuary idea and just farming and just relaxing. Like, the game wants you to move at a pace that is happy with you. Some people like that hardcore grinding, and that's in there. Relic items, I do that. I do relic items. I've done Baja. That's more of a hardcore grinding, where there's more casual grinds where, you know, you can go mount farming and enjoy the better things in life that doesn't stress you out as much unless you have ran Hades 45 times and now you just never gonna get that mount. And adding another layer to your mental health, they decided to make one character be able to play all classes. You don't have to start over. You don't have to repeat the grind of going through the story again. You don't have to repeat fights and jobs again unless you want to. You can flip-flop anytime you want and just have a good time. And I think Final Fantasy is really setting that bar and that standard of how video games can be. They can be fun. They can be relaxing. They can be enjoyable. You know, if you fail something, it doesn't feel like the end of the world. You just do it again. And coming from somebody who's played a game like League or other competitive games, it's a breath of fresh air. To be able to play a game, really enjoy myself, and I can go to bed at night feeling good, not feeling like I'm the worst person in the world and it's just not a fun opportunity. And that's what I think Final Fantasy really sticks its core at when it comes to MMOs and how it's treating itself, is that it's constantly reminding you that it's a game that you're supposed to enjoy. And when we play video games, we're here to enjoy them. So make sure that you're taking care of your mental health and make sure that you know, are moving at a pace that you really like. Take it from somebody who knows. I've been there. It's not fun. So I wanted to send this video out just to say I appreciate the Final Fantasy community. I appreciate the community that we're building here. You know, I'm curious if you feel the same way, that the Final Fantasy formula that they have for this game is really good for your mental health and you really enjoy it the way it is, and it can be kind of the standard that is set for other MMOs and other video games, and how to help create a more healthy and more interactive community. And if you don't agree with that, leave a comment below. Let me know why. There's nothing wrong with agreeing to disagree. As always, if you want to come hang with me, my Twitch link is in the description below. It's always a good time there. And remember, happy questing. Move at a pace you like. Don't move too fast, move too slow, or move as fast as you want and grind 4 or 5 relic items like I have and ran DR way too many times.